Hello and welcome back. Where are we today? Well, we're on XPD. What's XPD, Dev? XPD is a creative plot world server. Why are you here, Dev? I have something to show you. First, the server. Yeah, if you want to come on the server, you can. You'll spawn right here. You won't be looking at that. You'll be looking that way. You can grab a plot yourself by coming into this room and doing plot auto, or you can run out into the world and find a plot that's not been claimed and doing I don't know. I'm sure a plot help would probably give some more information. I have chat hidden because, yeah, there's a fair amount of people online, and chat just streams pretty quickly. Simple rules are right in here, basically. Don't grief. Some different commands are listed in there. World Edit. If you donate to the server, you can get access to World Edit. Microblocks. They have microblocks. What are microblocks, Dev? Well, blocks that look like other things, like a bucket of water, a bucket of lava, a piece of candy cane, and beer. That's beer. Okay. So there's stuff like that. Some microblocks look like that. Some different plots. Some showcases. Just different stuff. You should check it out. They've got some pretty talented builders here on the server. This is this basically that just takes you up into the top of spawn. And this is the area around spawn, and this is the first thing you get to see is it won't update, guys. It was done by World Edit, and as I understand, water and lava does not update on the server, and ice does not melt. So yeah, they've got this gigantic Cyclops throwing a boulder down and killing somebody. Why? Yes, that somebody is the server owner, Xisumavoid. So, yes, they've got some pretty stellar builds. So check it out. But I am going to pause right here and bring chat back up so that I can get to my plot so that we can show off what I came here to show off. We'll be right back. So if you did a plot auto when you came onto the server, it would choose the next random plot in the middle of who knows where and assign it to you. The plots are 201 blocks by 201 blocks, and you will find yourself on the north center of the plot. Now, I made my little thing. Each plot, when pardon me, each plot gets marked once someone becomes an owner of it. I did not place that sign. But let's get on to the build. The build is my Piston BUD Combination Lock. Alright. First, credit where credit is due. The Piston BUD is done by Mumbo Jumbo. I do believe there might be a space in between Mumbo and Jumbo. If so, my apologies. But there will be a link to his Piston BUD tutorial in the description below. This is a very compact bud. It is 1 wide, as you can see, and very simple to make. This would be the floor that you have. This would be anything to cover that up so that it doesn't appear. And as you can see, the torches are not breaking and falling all over the place. They have nice little plugins that keep it nice and tidy. Anyway, with this design, you can take a output from here. Oh, pardon me again. Or any one of these areas. It would need to be a repeater on top of that, or redstone on top of this. Or well, I guess a repeater would work as well. But basically that would be your output. Could be in any one of those areas. Okay. That is the bud. This is the lock. Down below, we're going to see some black wool. That's where redstone goes. The yellow wool is the reset line. Orange wool is close and exit line. And the green wool is the correct combination for this particular build. I will show you how you can manipulate that so that it could be any combination that you wish. This just has a bunch of redstone torches in case I run out. So as you can see, you have your mock-up room, and this room would be just a general room. Let's turn that off. Sorry about that. You might even have a door over here to lead into another little room that has chests in it, so that the people have no clue that this is actually the room that they need to be manipulating things in. And these are just the piston buds. Now these corner ones, the way they're designed, actually activate both of them, but the output is only going, because I'm going off the back, I'm going off this side right here, because I'm going off the back, it is an individual input, so that's different than that one, and I'll show that off when we get below. But if we enter the correct combination, we will see that our secret door opens. Now, the beauty of this thing is, let's go ahead and reset that. If at any point in the combination you enter the wrong piston, entering the correct combination, or the correct piston, does not open the door. That actually reset the entire thing, and the correct combination has to be entered. Now, it does not need to be entered in any particular order. Reset it. We can put this one in, then this one, then this one. It doesn't matter, and you'll see that when we get down below. So here we are inside our super secret room. We have a pressure plate, which is going to seal that door, pardon me, so that no one knows that you're actually in here. Good shift. They're running around out there trying to figure out where you are. Meanwhile, your loots are safe from prying eyes. Alright, we've gotten what we need. We step on the pressure plate. The door opens, the door closes. Yay. How does it work, Dev? I've seen combination locks before, Dev. They're horrible when it comes to redstone. I would agree. The redstone looks horrible. But this is really fairly simple, and I'm going to show you right now. So down below, we just have those piston buds, again, set up all the way around the room. And as you can see here, when these get activated, it does activate because of this redstone right here. It activates both of them up, but the output, this is the output, only the output of the bud that you activated is going to be the one to activate. So in this case, the corners are all resets anyway. So let's take a look at where some things are. First off, we have our door here. The pistons need to be extended, and we do that. Fly up here with a redstone torch, which is powering this repeater, which is powering both of the pistons. Okay, great. So, anytime that dust gets powered, that will open up. Alright, good to go. In the opposite corner, this is important, our reset line, the yellow wool, does not join up here. If it did, we would end up with a constant powering of the reset line, and that is bad. What does the reset line do? Well, let's first take a look at what the correct combination does. So as you can see, each one of these is basically, and obviously it's not pulling back up because I'm keeping the torch there. Basically, it's just pushing this piston down, which is activating the power from this torch to go through this repeater. Now, anybody that knows redstone knows that a sticky piston, I already have a torch there, a sticky piston, when it gets a signal, is going to push the block away. And when the power is removed, the block pulls back. However, if you turn that pulse, or the power, into a one-tick pulse, the block will stay in the pushed away position. Now, because it's a sticky piston, when that piston pushes out again, it will grab the block and pull it back. This is important to know. This is how the tumblers, or the buds, are working. I'm using it as a tumbler to push this block into the power path, which at that point then passes power on to the next tumbler. Now, if a reset is triggered before all of them are set, then it's erased. And we'll look closer at that here in a moment. So basically, how do we make a one-tick pulse from this? I mean, I'm powering this. This is staying down. Now, the buds, they pop down and pop back up, but that doesn't even make it a one-tick pulse. I'm getting a one-tick pulse here. How do we do that? We do that with this piston right here. So the power is going into the piston. It's powering the piston, which then extends, and this redstone gets powered for one tick. That's passed on with this repeater into the piston, and thus we have our block pushed away, and it stays pushed away. And yet another one, and it gets pulled back. So that is the tumbler. Obviously, you would move this power to wherever is going to be your first bit of redstone, and you want it to go counterclockwise so that it can go into the excuse me, this bit of redstone here. So if you were using, now if you got into using these pistons as part of the tumblers, this piece of the build would need to be moved out farther. Just keep that in mind. But if you're using these pistons, your power is going to need to be over here, and this piece is going to need to be moved out farther. Again, just keep all of that in mind. Now, the reset line. What is happening here? Well, as you can see, this is connected, and each one of these that is not part of the tumbler is connected to it. Obviously, this just goes up and over so that it doesn't interfere. and it comes along and it goes down here. And you'll see that there is this yellow path of redstone that is the reset line. Now, why doesn't this just channel into this? Well, because we needed to get all of these, and we do it again. We're not connecting this, so they both go in that direction and meet up over here and then go down. And what is happening here is, first we have this little bit of ingenuity. You'll notice each one of these blocks is actually extended. In fact, so are the pistons. Are not 1-tick pulses with this. They get extended, thus grabbing any of the blocks, but that is also allowing the power to go through, and yet the door is not open. The reason being because of this right here. This repeater turns this torch off, which pulls this piston down, which means this piece of redstone does not get any power from the power that's coming in through the actual combination. Meanwhile, over here, what's actually activating these pistons are the power is going into this block, which turns that that torch off, which turns that torch on, which powers the piston. And we do that, pardon me, for each one of the combination or tumblers or whatever you want to actually call them. And that's supposed to have a piece of glass there. Sorry about that. Just fix that. There we go. So that's how the reset line works. And that's why you'll actually hear additional pistons firing when any of the reset pistons are fired. Now, when the pressure plate, that's above this block, is depressed, this comes into a pulse lengthener, which basically allows the door to be open long enough that you can actually get out, and powers this block, which turns this torch off, which turns that torch on, which powers that block and all of the rest of the reset line. However, we've powered it over here, which skips this block. So we end up with the reset, but with this piston up, it opens the door. And because of the pulse lengthener, it stays open long enough that you're able to get out. So if we activate each one of the correct pistons, we're going to see it push the wool out, and power just keeps going around until it powers the door open. And then we have the door open, and as we walk over the pressure plate, that basically resets the entire system and closes the door. And it is that simple. Now, if you would like to come onto the server and check it out, my coordinates here are, as you can see, minus 13,968 is the X, and a minus 7967 is the Z. I don't know of another way to get here. I've asked a couple times. I have not gotten an answer. You can always rewatch this video. I'm not going to do a building tutorial on how to build this step by step. It's fairly complicated, but at the same time, it's fairly easy. The piston buds are pretty much entities of their own. The actual combination, as you can see here, when the pistons come down, it activates the repeater, which activates the piston here. That gives you your 1-tick pulse. So you have your redstone, you have your repeater. That goes into the sticky piston, which pushes the block out. That's going to give you your distance. Now, theoretically, you could go with that piston being facing down. If you do that, you're going to mess with the reset line, and you would have to have a different position for your reset line. I did mess around with that a little bit. I didn't like how that was shaping up. That's why I kept with this design. So that's basically all you need for the tumbler, or the correct tumbler. So you can easily build that on any one of these. Again, here in the corners, even when you activate one, yes, it's activating 2 pistons, both of the corners, but again, you're taking power off the back. And as you can see, while this one is going down, this one is not. So you do have separate outputs for those. So you can make a tumbler off of this. All you have to do is just keep in mind that when you do your resets, that you're going to have to go up and over the actual tumblers. I took them one out because of the pistons, and I didn't want to go up yet another one because that is that's up here. Now, obviously, if you were completely underground, you could go up another one. Let me replace that. But as it was, it kind of went on the quick and easy cutaway view so that things were fairly visible. Alright, well, with that, I am going to call this an episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and check out the server. Some pretty decent builds on this server. Everybody uses Epic. Who's an Epic build? No, there's some really good builds on here. I think Epic gets overused, so I'm not going to say Epic. It's like, on a scale of 1 to 10, what was the build? Oh, it was a 12! Yeah, okay. Like I say, Epic gets overused, in my opinion. But there are some very good builds. If nothing else, might give you some build ideas. Modern, organic, otherwise. Check it out. Anyway, link to the server will be in the description. A link to Mumbo will be in the description. And that should be it. So, thanks for watching, everyone. And I will catch you next time.